Let me tell you a story. There was a man deep in the night, standing in his living room with the lights off. No applause, no audience, no answers, just silence. He looked up and said, "God, I'm doing everything I can. I'm giving, I'm praying, I'm trusting, but it still feels like you're not moving." And in that quiet moment, when everything felt still and empty, he heard something in his spirit. Clear, steady, strong. "I'm not ignoring you. I'm building you." Some of y'all walked in here tonight with that same question on your heart. "God, where are you?" Well, I came to tell you, God sees you. God's been watching your faithfulness in the dark, and he sent me here with a message just for you. Let's talk. You ever been in a place so quiet, so still, that it made you wonder if God forgot you? I'm talking about the shadows. The places where no one's applauding, no one's validating you, and it feels like every prayer you pray is hitting the ceiling and bouncing right back. Let me tell you something real. Just because you're unseen by people doesn't mean you're forgotten by God. I remember years ago, before the lights, before the awards, before anyone called my name with applause, I was just grinding. Day after day, auditions, rejections, doubt creeping in like a slow fog. I was walking down Broadway one night after getting turned down again, and I felt so invisible, like I was doing everything right and still losing. I whispered under my breath, "God, do you even see me?" And I'll never forget what I felt in that moment. Not a loud voice, not a flash of lightning, just this deep, still whisper in my spirit that said, "I see you. I see your struggle. I see your heart. Don't you dare think I'm blind to your faithfulness." See, some of you right now, you're in the shadows. You're showing up for your family, holding down a job, praying for your kids, giving when it hurts, staying loyal when it's lonely. Nobody's clapping. Nobody's noticing. But God is taking notes. God sees you when you pray and nobody responds. He sees you when you turn the other cheek, even though everything in you wants to fight back. He sees when you choose integrity over shortcuts, when you forgive instead of keeping score. That kind of faithfulness, it doesn't go unnoticed in heaven. You don't need a platform to be powerful. You don't need an audience to be anointed. Sometimes your greatest strength is found when no one else is looking. Let me tell you something the world won't. The real tests of your character happen in the dark, when nobody's watching, when it's just you and God and you got every reason to quit, but you don't. Every reason to be bitter, but you choose grace. That's where God does his best work. In the quiet places, in the shadows, behind the scenes. Don't confuse silence with absence. Just because God's quiet doesn't mean he's not working. He's watching. He's shaping. He's preparing. And when the time is right, he will bring you from the shadows to the spotlight. Not for your glory, but for his. But hear me. Your faithfulness in the shadows is what qualifies you for what's coming next. So don't despise the dark. Don't curse the quiet. Keep sowing. Keep believing. Keep trusting. Because you're not invisible. You are seen, chosen, kept. God sees you in the shadows, and he is not finished with your story. Waiting is one of the hardest things God will ever ask you to do. We live in a world that moves fast, next day shipping, instant downloads, everything now. But God doesn't work on our schedule. No, sir. God doesn't rush the process because he's more interested in your preparation than your arrival. And that waiting, that uncomfortable space between the promise and the fulfillment, that space where your heart starts to wonder, did I miss it? That space is sacred. Let me tell you something personal. I've been there. I've stood in front of closed doors, rehearsing my lines, full of hope, only to have them slam in my face. I've prayed prayers and waited months, years, before I saw anything move. I started thinking, maybe I misunderstood what God told me. Maybe I'm not good enough, not strong enough, not ready. But what I didn't realize was that God wasn't denying me. He was developing me. You see, when you're in the waiting season, God is behind the curtain working on your behalf. You might not see him, but he's rearranging the stage. He's setting up divine appointments, adjusting your character, protecting you from things that look good, but would have broken you if he gave them too soon. David was told he'd be king, but he went back to tending sheep. Can you imagine that? Knowing you've been anointed, but still picking up after animals, still being overlooked. But he didn't rush it. He let God do what only God can do. Build strength in silence. Joseph had a dream of influence, of purpose, but his path led him through betrayal, through false accusations, through prison. And I know some of you all feel that, like your dreams are dying in a pit locked behind the bars of disappointment. But Joseph never stopped trusting, never stopped believing that what God showed him was real. That dream came to pass because Joseph didn't give up during the wait. You've got to understand the wait is working for you. Every tear, every delay, every silent night where you prayed and got no answer, it's doing something inside you. It's building your faith. It's maturing your spirit. It's toughening your resolve. It's breaking pride, stretching your patience, teaching you how to trust him when nothing makes sense. Because let's be real, faith that only works on the mountaintop isn't faith at all. Real faith is forged in the valley, in the stillness, in the seasons where you can't trace God's hand, but you choose to trust his heart. I know it hurts. I know it's hard. But don't rush what God is refining. You're not being punished. You're being positioned. What you think is a delay might actually be divine protection. What you call a setback might be a setup. And I know sometimes it feels like you're standing still while everyone else is sprinting ahead. But just because it hasn't happened yet doesn't mean it's not going to happen. God's not done with your story. The waiting season is part of the story. So don't waste your wait. Worship in it, work in it, grow in it, because when the door finally opens, you'll be ready. Not just to walk through it, but to own it. You ever feel like life just keeps hitting? Like every time you take one step forward, something pushes you 2 steps back? You're doing all the right things. Praying, showing up, giving, forgiving. And still it feels like the weight keeps piling on. Like the mountain in front of you keeps getting bigger, steeper, darker. But let me tell you something real and true. You were built for that mountain. See, God didn't bring you this far to leave you stranded at the bottom. He didn't call you out just to watch you collapse under the pressure. That mountain you're facing, it's not meant to crush you. It's meant to reveal you. You were never meant to stay in the valley. The valley was your training ground. The hard nights, the heartbreaks, the losses. Those weren't the end of your story. They were the fire that forged your faith. They were the gym that built your spiritual muscles. That pressure you feel, it's not punishment. It's preparation. I faced mountains in my own life. Moments where everything in me wanted to quit. Moments where fear whispered louder than faith. I've had to look in the mirror and remind myself, you were built for this. Because God doesn't call the qualified, He qualifies the called. And if He put the mountain in front of you, that means He already put the strength in you. But here's the thing, climbing takes commitment. It takes courage. You've got to wake up some mornings and choose to fight when your feelings tell you to fold. You've got to move when it doesn't make sense. You've got to trust when the path is unclear, when the air gets thin, when you're out of breath and out of answers. The enemy wants to keep you stuck, wants you to look at the mountain and say, it's too big, I'm too tired, I'm not enough. But the truth is, you don't climb by your own strength. You climb by grace. You climb with God behind you, within you, and before you. Remember Moses? He climbed Mount Sinai to meet with God, to receive purpose, direction, identity. Elijah went up Mount Carmel to call down fire. Jesus, he climbed Golgotha carrying a cross on his back, not because it was easy, but because it was necessary. The mountain is where transformation happens. And it's not just about reaching the top. It's about who you become on the way up. Every step you take builds perseverance. Every slip, every stumble, every time you fall and get back up, it's shaping your destiny. Every scar becomes a testimony. Let me speak this over someone right now. You are not weak. You are not defeated. You are not forgotten. You are equipped, anointed, chosen. There is power inside you that hasn't even been activated yet because it's waiting for the climb. So don't let fear paralyze you. Don't let doubt talk you out of your destiny. Don't let the size of the mountain make you forget the size of your God. The same God who spoke worlds into existence is the same God who's walking with you. The same God who raised the dead is the same God who's raising you. And if he's for you, who can stand against you? You were made for the climb, made for the fight, made for the victory. You were built for the mountain, and the mountain will move because you're not climbing alone. So what is God saying to the faithful ones? He's saying, I saw you when nobody else did. I've heard every prayer, caught every tear, and I never took my eyes off you, not for a second. He's saying, your wait was not in vain. I've been working in the dark, preparing you for the light. And he's saying, that mountain in front of you, I didn't put it there to stop you. I put it there to show you what I already put inside you. Now is not the time to shrink back. Now is not the time to question your worth or let discouragement define your future. You've come too far, you've endured too much, and you've trusted too long to give up now. You are the faithful one. And because of that, you are the chosen one, the preserved one, the one God is about to raise up, not just for your sake, but so others can look at your life and say, if God did it for them, he can do it for me too. So stand tall, speak life, walk forward. Because the message from God is this: I am with you, I am for you, and I am about to show the world what I can do through someone who refused to quit. Keep the faith. Your time is coming, and when it does, the world won't see just your glory. They'll see God's fingerprints all over your story. Amen.